this butterfly over here. Now to make the butterfly, we start with a square piece of paper. What you need to do is fold along one of the diagonals. That way. Now unfold it. Now you fold it along the other diagonal. Unfold that. So now you have this X shape fold on the paper. The next step is to flip it over. Now fold it in half along this line. Unfold that. And now you fold it in half along this horizontal line. And we unfold that as well. So now you have this X and cross pattern on the paper. Now what you need to do is hold it at the corners, just squeeze the corners in a bit, and the whole thing will collapse into this four-sided shape. Now if you press it down, it folds flat into this triangle. Now in origami, this is called the water bomb base, and there are many different origami models you can make by starting here. But for today, let's start with the butterfly. Now, once you have it this way, pick up one of these corners, the top one, and fold it up to the point at the top. Now do the same on the other side, pick up this corner and fold it up. You should have this with the two loose ends here. Now the next step is to flip this over. The point you see here at bottom, pick that up, leave these two bits down here, and don't fold it, but just kind of pull it up over the edge on top. There should be a triangular piece that kind of pushes past this edge. Now what you need to do is that triangle that crosses the edge, you need to fold it over it like that and pinch it, fold it. Now if you flip this over, you'll see that the butterfly is almost done. What you need to do now is to fold this triangle that's on top in half to lock the whole thing in place. And that is your simple origami butterfly. It's one of my favorite models, and it's a great place to start. Now, all of you are looking at this on a phone, and most of our time at this case. So it's great to have something like origami which encourages you to use your hands and rediscover just the pleasure of folding paper and molding it into shapes. So to show you more of that, I am going to show you this next model, which is a rabbit. So let's start this. Again, start with a square piece of paper. Now this time we fold it in half along the vertical line. Try to keep your folds as clean as possible, because when you make them clean in the beginning, then the model ends up being neater looking at the end. The more loose and imprecise you are in the beginning, the model becomes kind of not as sharp when you finish it. Now you need to unfold this, and you fold one of the edges to the central line that you just made. Now you do the same with the other edge, fold it towards the center. So you have this door-like fold. Now at the top, fold this corner down like this to a point. That's what you'll have. And now fold the other corner to finish this triangular point. So you should have this house-shaped piece. Now what you need to do is unfold these two bits. And the next part can be a little tricky. Open up one of these, and what you need to do is push in this corner. Since you have a fold on both sides, you push it in and you fold it flat. So now you end up with this flap. I'll show you that again on the other side. So you separate these two bits and push it in, and then just fold it along lines that were already created. And you should have this shape. Okay, now the next step is to just quickly turn this around, and this single triangle on top, hold it down, should come to the center. Now fold this over again, keep it flat, and you need to fold this line that's on the top here towards the central line, kind of like the rockets that we made in school. So you end up with that shape. Now you need to do the same on the other side. So take this edge and fold it to the center. Now we have this little mini rocket. Now what you need to do is, you can see this line here along the center. You need to fold this back along that line, and then this bit will stick out on the other end. So you kind of rotate it like this and fold this back. And you should have this shape. Now keep it sideways this way, flip it over, and fold it in half along this entire length. And you should get this. You can start to see the shape of the rabbit's head forming here. Now the next fold is an interesting one because it's not your normal kind of fold. As you start learning origami that's a little bit more complicated, you need to do folds that are a bit more like sculpting rather than folding straight. Now in this one, what you need to do is hold the pointed bits here, which will become the ears of the rabbit, and you pull it slightly up. As you can see, it's starting to bend the paper here. Now keep your fingers there till it starts to look like a head, and you pinch all of this flat here. So you create this shape. You should have this. On both sides, it will look exactly the same. Now the next step is to take the point that's here on your right and fold it to the end of the head of this rabbit here. So like this. And fold that in as sharp as you can. Now unfold this. You should have this slanted line here. Now fold this edge down to this edge, forming a point here. So this way. And since there's so many layers of paper, you'll have to really fold this down hard for it to make it sharp. So now you have the rabbit head, and we are going to work on the body. You have these two lines here. What you need to do is open this up and using this first line, you fold the whole thing in along that first line. So let me show you that again. You open it up like this, and then you fold it in along the first slanted line and close it up in. And as you can see, you're starting to form the body of the rabbit. Now the legs are not very clear. So what you need to do is fold it out again. I think it paused again. Okay, so what we have is this. Now what you need to do is you have this triangle here. You fold that up so that it forms this, and you get a rabbit with pointed legs like this. Now as you can see, it's almost done. Just some finishing touches. So first let's start with the nose. You need to make that into a flat nose like a rabbit does have. So you put your fingers into this pocket and you fold the point inwards so that you get the flat nose of the rabbit. Now you can also do the same on that here. Instead of this point, you just open this up and you just press that pointed bit in and then fold it flat again so that you have this curved edge. So now the feet are ready, the body is ready. All you need to do is finish it off with the ears. Now the ears, just put your fingers in between the layers of the ears and just open them up like this. To keep them open, you can even fold the tip of the ear back a little. That helps sometimes. Again, do the same on the other side. Open it up and fold this back a little. And as you can see, you have an origami rabbit. Now, as you saw with what I was doing with the rabbit, there are a lot of little things that you can add to a model to make them unique and to make them your own, so that no two people would fold this exactly the same. Origami really encourages you to be creative with the final piece because paper is so pliable and foldable. The great thing is that you can learn the basics, the basic shape of a model, And then you can experiment and create your own variations of it. To look at that a bit further, let's look at making this flying crane here. It's a task, and this is a fun one to make. As always, we start with a square piece of paper. Now this is going to be similar to the base that we made for the butterfly. So we start with folding one of the diagonals. Again, keep the points as sharp as you can right at the beginning. Unfold that. Fold the other diagonal. Unfold that, and you have this X shape like we did before. Now flip it over. Now we're going to do the two cross folds that we did before. One along this line to fold it in half, and one along this line to fold it in half as well. So let's do that. Fold it in half, open it up, and fold it in half the other way. And we open it up. Now for the butterfly, we held onto the corners and the point of this paper was on top here. For this one, what we need to do is flip it over like a bubble. The point is at bottom here. Now you place your finger under the point and you push it up. And as you can see, the corners are going downwards here. Now you hold on to these lines at the sides, the folds at the sides, and you squeeze this in like this to form 4 lobes. Now when you look at it from the side, it's a square shape. Fold this flat as much as you can. In origami, this shape is called the square base. And just like the one before, this one is the start of many important and fun models to make. So it's a good skill to be able to fold this. Now to make our crane, make sure that the point on this is away from you and the open parts of the paper are down towards you. Now what you need to do is fold this edge to the center here. Like that. Now for the opposite edge here, also to the center. You should have this shape. Now what you need to do is the triangle that formed here at the top, you fold that down along this edge. So you should be looking at a shape that looks like this. Now the next step is to open up these 3 folds that you made. And you will see this triangle formed here. Now this next fold is a little tricky, so I'm going to show it to you a few times. You need to take the top layer of the paper and fold it up along this top edge, like this. Now it forms this kind of boat shape. Now what you need to do is fold this flat along all of the edges that you created before, and it should fold flat into this tall diamond shape. Let me show you that again. We started here with the square and the triangle here. You fold it up along this line, and then you fold the sides flat, and you get that shape. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing on the other side of the paper. So flip it over. Again, fold this edge to the center. Fold that edge to the center as well. Now fold this triangle down along this edge. Open it all up and have the same triangle as before. Like before, you open it up and fold it flat into this tall shape. Now you should have 2 pieces here and what look like wings here, because these are wings and they are used to make a lot of wings. This shape in origami is called the bird base. Using this, you can make many different bird models, but also flowers and all sorts of other things. So this is another classic shape for you to learn how to make. Now to make our flying crane, our next fold is also a common fold you come across in origami. It's called the inside reverse fold. But to do this thing has 2 layers here on the sides. Put your finger in between the 2 layers. Grab onto this and pull it upwards between the 2 layers. Like that. Now As you can see, it's pulled on the inside and it was pointing out, pointing up, so it's inside was. And you press that flat at an angle like that. So we'll make another inside reverse fold. Put your finger between the layers, grab onto this, put out between the layers, press this flat, and you have this. So you have a tail, a neck, and two wings. Now to make the head of the bird, again you do an inside reverse fold. You put your finger between the layers of the neck, and you pull the head down between the two layers. And that makes the head. Now the wings need a little finishing. Take one of the wings, and you need to fold this edge flat here along this line. So what we're doing is folding it forward like this. So you make a point here, and it goes under the head here. So you should get this shape. Now turn it over and do the same. So you take the wing and fold it down towards the head. And then fold that flat. Now the reason that this model is called flying crane is not just because it has its wings open. In fact, we should first open the wings, put it there. The reason it's called the flying crane is because it can do this. You hold on to this bird in the front here under its head. Now hold the tail as low as you can. Don't hold it on the outside. Hold the tail, but slip your fingers down, and then you pull. And you have a paper crane that wrapping it. This is of course one of everyone's favorite models make, and this is definitely unusual. The flying crane is a classic. Now, as you can see, the great thing about papercraft is that it starts simple, and you can make it more and more complicated. And the great thing is that you can really teach it to yourself with a little help from people like me, or videos, or instruction books. And you can keep learning new skills and new methods within origami. Now we're going to end our little workshop by showing you a model that's looking modern but actually quite old. So I'm going to show you how to make this star box. This model is actually several hundred years old from Japan, but it's still something to make today, and teaches you quite a few tricks. So let's get started with this. I'll always start with a square. Now for this one too, we're going to make the square base like we made for the bird. So we start with folding the two diagonals. Fold one, open it up. Now fold the second one. Open it up and you'll see the X mark like we've always seen before. Now flip this over. Now we're going to fold it in half along these lines, vertical and horizontal. So fold it in half. Open it up. Now fold it in half along this line. Open it up again. Now when you do this, make sure that the point is downwards and flip this over. And if you hold on to these edges, these folds on the edges here, and you pinch, it will collapse into these four pieces. And when you fold it flat, again, you have the square base that we had before. Fold the flat as you can. Now with the bird, we had kept the point away from us and the loose parts of the paper towards us. For the star box, we need to turn it upside down. So now you have the loose parts of the paper on top and the point below. Now what you need to do is fold this edge, the top one, the loose one, to the central line. So you do that. You'll have this here. Now you do the same on the other side. Fold this edge, the top left, towards the center. Now this is very similar to what we did for the bird. The next step is what makes this different. Take your finger. On one of these sides, put your finger through the two layers of paper, and you'll have this kind of shape. Put your finger into the pocket here at the end, like your. And lines and make one straight line. We have this triangle at the end. Now we have to do this a few more times, so let's try it again on the other side. Put your finger between the two layers, push it into the pocket at the end, and then press it flat. And you should be able to see this kind of shape. Now we need to repeat this on the other side, so flip this over. Do the same. Take this edge, fold it towards the center, take that edge, fold that towards the center, and the same trick again. Put your finger between the layers of paper here, push it to the end, press this flat, and you form that triangle. Again, finger between the layers, push it to the end, fold this flat. Now what you need to do next is, you have these various layers of paper. It's like a book, so turn one of these pages like a book, and you come to this flat area. Now what you need to do is fold these towards the central line. So fold that in, and you do the same here. Take this bit and fold it towards the central line, and that is the shape you get. Now flip this over. Again, flip a page like in a book, and you come to this flat shape. Fold both of these towards the central line as we did before. So take the right one, fold it down, take the left one, fold that down, and you have this done. Now what you need to do is, this big triangle that you have at the bottom, fold it up along this line. So this way. Press that line down. But that's just to make a line for you to use soon, so unfold it. Now what you need to do is, these top bits, which become the points of the star, you fold them down one at a time. So fold this down, flip it over, take the one at the back, fold it down. Now you do the same book page move. Flip the page, fold that down, and there's one of these left, so flip it back like a page, and flip that one down. So we have the shape. Now if you open this up, push out the star points. Now you need to open this up. Put your fingers in here and open it up so that the folds that you made before at the bottom start to form the box. Now once the basic shape is formed, you go in from the outside and pinch those lines so that they're folded properly. You go around the whole thing and pinch from the outside. And once you pull these apart, you have made an origami star box, which is quite a great model. You can keep it on your table for paper clips, sweets, whatever you want. It's a beautiful thing. And that covers the models I'm going to be. As you've seen, you can start with things that are extremely simple, like the butterfly, and very much like the models that are in